Well, I think employer branding is important in the IT industry for mainly because of two reasons, and we gotta take into account what the IT industry is here. In the IT industry, you have a group of people, developers, programmers, who more than in probably any other industry are, number one, self-taught, number two, extremely passionate about the sort of projects they want to be in, and three, really careful when they choose a company. Because you have so many passionate, self-taught people, it's really one of the few places where you see people caring so much about what type of companies they go into. And that usually is deeply influenced by the brand that you as an employer have. So that's one of the reasons. The other reason is because, especially in the IT industry in Finland, what we've come to see is that we have a lot of demand for a very short supply. So you have a lot of companies competing for the same talent. And unless your company is able to distinguish itself from other companies within the same industry, you're going to have a tough time acquiring these talents. And these are very capable people. These are very intelligent people. These are people that want to be in great companies. And unless you have a brand that transmits that message, you're going to have a very difficult time acquiring them. Well, I think the classic example of a company with a good employer brand is Google. I think a short visit to their Googleplex will probably show it. They've got free lunches. You can bring your children to daycare over there. You have a certain amount of your time dedicated to spend on really cool things rather than Google work. You can spend it on personal projects, etc. That might become very valuable to the company. You have a very friendly atmosphere. They tend to be a company that people believe lives by their values, and that results in a very good employer brand. And it's something that most people will probably, at some point in their lives, think that they want to work at Google. And who wouldn't? I mean, they really have a great brand. Then in Sweden, you've got Spotify, for example, and really you have great examples. All you need to do is look at Fortune 100 best companies to work for, and you'll find there a lot of examples of companies with great employer brands. I think probably one of the first steps to start improving your employer brand would be to understand that your brand is not, or the way to improve it is not a thing that goes from inside the company to outside and to people that want to join now. It really starts within the company. It starts with the employees that you have inside your own company. It starts with little details that help you create the sort of culture that you want, which will in turn result in a better employer brand. So for example, some things that you could do is, if you want to be like Google and say that you are creative and create a creative culture, why not, assuming you're grown big enough to be able to afford this amount of slack in the company, why not tell your employees, okay, from now on, once a week you get one day off where you can work on your own project, or like half a day off, or even just a couple of hours, work on something cool that might be important for the company in the future or might not, but that kind of inspires you to be creative. So those are some of the things, small things that you can create within the culture, within the company, and will help your employees tune in to the general brand that you want to have within the company, and then they will be your best brand ambassadors. They will be your advocates that will go out there and tell other people, and they will know that you have a good brand. I would say that probably one of the worst ones is to keep your new potential employees, candidates, waiting in line to hear from you. You have many people who apply, and it will take many companies weeks, if not months, to actually get back to these people, or to let them know whether they even just are being considered or not. So for example, a candidate may apply to a company and he might be a very stellar one. He may have all the good skills and might have a great personality, would fit really well within the culture, but then he doesn't even know whether he's in the process or not. He doesn't know whether he's been considered. Those are some of the things that are really bad for your brand as an employer.